the stage from the class of 1977, Ms. Phyllis Hitchcock.
Good afternoon. I hope this has been a fun week so far for all of you who have enjoyed some of the homecoming activities, and I'd like to thank everyone today for coming and for giving me this honor. I'd like to thank the committee for that. I never expected this. I'd like to acknowledge President Dr. J, as I've been told I could say, members of the Alumni Board of Directors and the President's Cabinet. I'd like to start by saying that my academic and athletic experiences at MSSC, which changed to SSU while I was here, and is now SMSU, helped prepare me for my career in life. I became a physical education and health education teacher. And like it said, I taught for 40 years. How did I do that? Wine. Just kidding. My passion for teaching in these two areas continued to grow as I grew in experience and knowledge. If I may, let me share a little of my story. Yes, I grow up in Arco, Minnesota, population of 101, and sometimes that counted cats and dogs. And I would play outside for hours. In 1973, I graduated from Ivanhoe High School, and I had 45 in my class. There were no organized sports for girls as we know them today. We had PE and health. High school athletic opportunities were limited to GRA, Girls Recreation Association, and being a cheerleader. This meant the local lake was a popular place to go, and it was where I started teaching swim lessons. High school went well. I was doing fine in academics, and I was involved in school activities. My dad stressed the importance of a college education, and he put his money where his mouth was. There were no prep classes to take the ACT test, you just took it. And so I did, and my score was not very high. It was suggested to me to think about other options in education instead of a four-year college. I am grateful that SSU gave me the opportunity to prove myself. And as for some of you who may have experienced tragedies or hardships before coming to college, this was true for me. I lost my best friend that I had grown up with, and she was killed in a car accident. Her funeral was on the day that I graduated from high school. College was a time to get away from home, and SSU financially fit into our family. When I arrived, I was not sure of who I was or what I wanted to do in life. I did not want to fail, and I did not want to let my parents down. I was not sure about a career, and so I focused on just the general ed classes. Girls' high school sports came to my high school after I had graduated, so I didn't consider going out for intercollegiate sports my freshman year. While standing in line to register for classes for my sophomore year, a friend and I decided to do this. We registered and we went out for intercollegiate volleyball. My goal was to take any opportunity that I could. I played JV volleyball, was on the swim team and the tennis team. I had a lot to learn and in sports, and I thank my coaches for giving me this opportunity. Along with starting my classes and my majors in that year, it was then that I really began to feel a connection to college. A few years ago, I was on an education committee with Mrs. Sterner from SMSU. She said to me that my time in intercollegiate sports was like being a pioneer. Because of my involvement, I feel I learned how to motivate students with low self-esteem or limited athletic experience. And I believe these opportunities helped me to get a teaching job, become a better coach, and an empathetic teacher. This college was small enough that professors knew your name. They took an interest in where you came from, and they wanted to help you succeed. They inspired learning, and they built a personal connection. And those are qualities that I brought to my classroom. Jerry Madden, Don Palm, R.A. Colvin, Lou Shaver, Glenn Madkey, Gene Replinger, Mike Sterner, and Judy Moore were influential in my education at Southwest State University. These are just a few names, but with age, I may have forgotten a few others. I thank them for their time and dedication. My fond memories of college were dorm life, the sports facilities, hanging out with friends, and meeting people. And as for funny stories from college, ask me later, I can't tell them here. I graduated from SSU in 1977 with a double major in physical education and health, and there weren't many teaching positions available. And so in August of '77, a teacher at Centennial Junior High in Circle Pines, Minnesota had just resigned. The principal needed a physical education teacher who also had their water safety instructor certification. I did. I was both nervous and excited, but I had a job, and I was so grateful to be hired to teach physical education and eventually health education. 1 week into the school year, the high school girls swim coach resigned. I took over, becoming the first female to coach the varsity girls swim team at Centennial. And I coached the girls varsity swimming from 77 to 83, and I even got over to Stillwater. Again, I felt like a pioneer in coaching. By the way, my line dancing at Earth 2 paid off. One of my first units in our junior high PE dance unit needed some additional interest. Students were getting tired of square dancing. The skill came in very handy. I transitioned to the high school in 1982, where I taught physical education and health. And during the years I taught, I saw graduating class sizes begin around 200, and then they grew to over 500 students. In time, I graduated with a master's degree in education from St. Mary's University in Winona in 2005. During my graduate coursework there, we were one of the first classes to begin using online learning. In 2009, one of my principals and I discussed the issue of helping students with overloaded schedules complete required classes such as health. I was willing to take a chance and leap into something I knew very little about. Go develop and facilitate a health hybrid online class. Before the class went live, I researched available information on this topic and met with a few colleagues to work out the details. Technology was going to be a challenge. We needed a learning platform in our school technology and a communication system for the coursework. Students needed to learn how to begin and to navigate an online class, and I needed a way to form a teacher-student relationship to help learning take place. I was used to being a pioneer, so in 2011, I piloted the first of its kind at Centennial High School, the hybrid health class. And the class combined online learning with some face-to-face interaction in the classroom. It was satisfying to be able to see the hybrid class come together and expand. My passion continued to promote the importance of students to have the knowledge of a healthy lifestyle and to be able to navigate online learning. I retired from teaching at the end of 2017, having taught more than 10,000 students in my career. I really enjoyed those years of teaching and time spent with students. Had it not been for the teachers from SSU, I might not have had those experiences. Who would ever thought that a young girl from Arco, graduating from high school with a class of 45 students, would get to experience this 40-year career? I would like to thank my husband, Dave Hitchcock, who is an alum, for being here today. I'm very proud of Sarah Hendrickson and her husband, Calvin. Our son, Steve, lives in Dallas. He could not be here today with his wife. And I thank Ricky Bly and her husband for being here. Ricky is a cousin of mine. I want to thank you again very much for this honor. Go Mustangs.